I'm Greg Miller, and you're listening to Rabbit Hole Media. It kind of sounds gross, but I don't think it is.
Hello and welcome to another Press Start special review, discussion and gameplay. This time of Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy. I am one of your hosts, Kristian, and as always and as usual, I'm joined by the Jeremy Clarkson of video games, Mr. Jack Netley Thompson. Good evening, Jack. How are you?
Good evening. I am well-ish. I'm sleepy.
I am
well.
I am sleepy. It seems like you're better than me because I do not feel well.
I might not by the end of it if I catch your disease.
I feel like where it's all come from is I got my hair cut on Monday, you see, which has reduced a lot of the padding around my head and my ears. So now my head is cold, hence why I have a head cold.
I see.
Because within...
That's not how that works. But
I think it is. I disagree. Factually incorrect, you are, I'm afraid. Because I finished having my hair cut, as one does when they have their hair cut. And then I left there and I went straight to the supermarket to do some food shopping. And as I was walking around the supermarket, particularly in the fridge and the freezer section, the pain in my ears from them being cold and exposed to the outer world was just... I just had such a headache. And the headache's not gone since.
Good.
So, hence why I'm blaming the cold ear scenario.
I see. Fair. I don't have that because I never let my hair get as... long as yours, so I never have that form of protection.
It's just as I'm married now, so I can afford to let myself go.
I'm not, but I've been letting myself go for many moons. 28 years, in fact.
It's a long time.
Yeah, it's been downhill from birth.
This is Press Start, your video game podcast here on Rabbit Hole Media. If you like what you're doing or what you're doing is watching us, you can follow us on Twitter at rabbithole_UK. You can subscribe to us on YouTube, where you can see us anytime that you wish. You can follow us on Twitch at Rabbit Hole Media, and you can subscribe and follow on multiple different podcast services on and around the internet.
Indeed.
And now you can follow us on Instagram at rabbitholemedia_UK and on TikTok at rabbitholemedia for all of the behind the scenes tits and bits. If you would like to support us, you can head to merch.rabbitholemedia.co.uk for a wide range of merchandise, which is always getting wider. And finally, if you're watching us live on Twitch, you're an Amazon Prime member, you get one free Twitch Prime membership a month. Please find it within your hearts to give the free membership to us. It doesn't cost you a penny, but it does go a very long way in helping us bring you the shows you love. Like what, Jack, for those people watching on YouTube later?
We will be doing a scripted, high production value, proper jobby recap. Not the Scottish jobby, just jobby. Recap of the Sam Raimi Spider-Man trilogy, but only once we hit 10 subscribers. We will also be putting together a little what would you call it? Proof of concept video to explain what we're talking about better, considering none of you seem to care. We will make you care, and then we will make you subscribe. We will give you that reason to.
Indeed. Today we are going to be playing and talking about Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy from Square Enix. I'm going to let you take the lead on it.
Why?
Just because, polite. You're a guest in my locale. The polite thing to do is to give you options. So, a little bit of backstory. We've both finished this game.
We have
so this is just about...
I biffed it.
Yeah, I've biffed it. About half hour into New Game Plus. Unlocks and all abilities, all that kind of stuff is carrying over. As part of this, we also go through and doing a collectible run through for the Platinum Trophy, because it's quite an obtainable Platinum Trophy. 59 trophies. I got 52 of them in the first playthrough.
Yeah, I got, what was it? I got 54. 50. I had 4 left, including the Platinum, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, so it's not bad going
Doesn't
until...
seem like the way to go.
And it probably is possible to do it on one playthrough if you're paying attention and
Absolutely
plan it out.
Would be, yeah. First workbench, but I assume we don't need workbenches at all.
No, yeah, it seems completely redundant, doesn't it?
This is a vintage Model T engineering workbench.
Unless there are more upgrades available that I just didn't do.
Hey, come on, Quill. Let's see if this beauty still works. Maybe
Possibly.
I can fix
Let's
some
have a look.
here. Hey, hand me that part.
There's only 15, though. Yes, I understand.
Yeah, there are some that I haven't done.
I think that might just be the tutorial one.
Oh yeah, maybe.
14 out of 14. There's 15 though.
There you go. And now that's all of them.
15 out of 14. Good work, game.
So, other than its bad maths, Jack, give me your general thoughts, your overview on Guardians of the Galaxy.
I love this game. I think it is superb. It's got some polish issues. I fucked that up. It's got a couple of polish issues, but nothing too egregious. If anything, it's actually rather entertaining.
What, the polishing issues?
Yes.
Yeah. No, there's nothing major wrong in any of that sense. Not at all. The polishing issues I find weird, though, because I found out recently that a big portion of this dev team and the writing team and the senior team of this game are people that used to work in QA at Eidos Montreal and moved up to do this. So considering they worked in QA, you'd think that side of things would be very good.
Yeah, I suppose. Well, I guess if you just run out of... Oh, that's annoying. Even though it's New Game Plus, you don't have any of the...
That's because your characters aren't here.
Oh yes, of course they are.
Otherwise you would do. I've lost my train of thought. Yes, no, I agree. I think this is a really good game. Really enjoyed it. One of my favourite games for a while. Lucky, really. I've had a lot of good games lately, except like 2 or 3 in a row, back to back. They've been really good fun. I really enjoyed this. This is everything I like about a game. I like a linear story pattern with good character dynamics and cool action scenes and nice graphics, and that's what I like and enjoy from games. So this has really ticked all of those boxes for me. The only sort of things that I think where it really falls down is the areas of polishing, not just in terms of bugginess and stuff like that, but just a few weird things that happen. Like, you know, we both spoke about the final scene on the bridge.
Yeah.
Like, it's just a few design choices they seem to have made almost. Whereas, like, well, hang on, how did you get to making this decision? How did you think this was a good thing? Because so much of the game has been like really good quality, and then there's a few bits which are very not so good quality, and it's just strange how they've come to those creative decisions. But overall, a really solid experience for me.
That's fair. I feel this should be you as opposed to me.
But, well, you have the controller. Oh, I see. Yes. This is just a strategy guide from Power Picks here, just so we're not missing things. But the next thing isn't until after you reunite with Drax and Gamora.
That is in this room.
Yeah, and then it says after using their abilities to place a pillar, you can climb. So once we've done the fight and we're out and you're moving a pillar around, then we're good.
Cool.
So what about? I think the thing I'm most interested from your point of view is obviously the Marvel thing. You're well into your Marvel properties, so you're going to have a very different take on the Marvel side of things to me, because I'm a Marvel guy, but not in the same way as you.
Yep, fair. To be fair, out of any and all Marvel properties, the one I couldn't give a shit about the most is Guardians of the Galaxy. Yeah, the one I couldn't give a shit about the most is probably Guardians of the Galaxy, just because I don't know. It's just one of those things. I've never really cared. Never cared before the movie. I think the first movie when it came out was really fucking good. It was a nice, fresh sort of thing that we hadn't really seen before, and now they've overdone it. Mm-hmm. I think they made obviously Guardians 1 and 2. They're making 3. They made the Guardians tone and everything quite a big part of Infinity War.
Yep.
What is next, Peter Quill?
So I'm just kind of getting over the oh, it's a quirky team that is making quips all the time and doing 80s music.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of getting over it, but I thoroughly enjoy this game. I think this is the best rendition of Guardians we've had, personally. I prefer all of them to the movie versions.
Okay, fair enough.
Largely because as time goes on, I'm having more and more issues with Chris Pratt as a human being. Given that he's recently, in the last few years, joined a very problematic church.
Yes.
Was not intended as a compliment.
I can't remember what I do.
So yeah, you get her to cut the rope behind it in particular.
Somehow.
It's a possibility. Maybe try something else.
I mean, try something.
So there's a.
Move that thing, Drax.
It's specifically you have to highlight the rope that's behind it, not the actual thing.
Oh yes.
Let's see that fancy footwork, Gamora.
Bet you can't do that.
But yeah, no, that's fair enough. I can't say I completely disagree because
But just to finish off clarifying as well, I do really like Drax in the MCU. I think Rocket is an utter cunt in One Per Show.
Yes.
In the MCU, I don't think he has any redeeming qualities. Obviously, everyone loves Groot. You can't really do Groot wrong because all he does is say, "I am Groot." Gamora is dull in the MCU, always has been. And Star-Lord gets irritating, but I think Gamora is a lot more interesting. She has a lot more character development and growth and what have you in this game. Drax is very funny in this game. Star-Lord is humorous in this game. Groot is Groot, and Rocket actually has some growth again as well.
hold up, let's just make sure we're not missing a thing. It just says you enter a room where the three discuss what the monster will look like. Look by the steel pipes in the center of the room. I don't think we're in that place yet, so we're okay.
I assume that's in here.
No, as I say, I generally can't disagree with you.
Perhaps he has located our monster.
We don't even know
Yes,
what
it's
it
in that
looks
room.
like. The intel was extremely vague.
It says by the steel pipes, part of steel pipes on the floor. There you go.
Probably some cute little.
Nightmare
Oh,
and
there.
abomination.
Lady Hellbender is a renowned warrior, an ideal specimen reflecting
carry on.
strength.
Like I said,
I lost my train of
something
thought.
scary.
Disagree. Strength is endearing. I bet it's
What are we talking
cute.
about? Yes, I don't have a huge kind of issue with any of the characters in the film, but I completely agree that they're all their best versions in this. And I think that's more a testament to the writing of this particular game and the character arcs, because every character has an arc in this game. Whereas in the films, they don't. The team kind of has an arc, but not so much the individual characters. Whereas this, each character has their own little story arc and their own character development. I think it works really, really well. It's all really well written, and the dialogue is well written and well performed by the main cast. I think some of the supporting staff leave a few things to be desired in a few places. Nothing major.
Actually, I didn't. I had nothing to do with what happened.
Sorry, the next thing on here is a outfit that I believe you've already got. Do you want to just check, just to say what's looking for? It's the Overlord outfit for Star-Lord.
It's chapter 2.
Oh, we're not even in chapter 2, so I'll shut my face.
Because I think, I'm pretty sure, that was the last one.
Oh yeah, correct.
Tablet, you were £1,000. Be quicker about
Why
it.
do you think the monster was drawn to this ship?
So yeah, I think that's a real testament to the game's writing and
I agree.
storytelling. And I think it's got an interesting plot as well,
It
to
does.
be fair. There's lots of elements to it. There's stuff that you do in the early stages that seem fairly inconsequential. Everything kind of comes back to in a good way, in a satisfying way as well, with some really cool cinematic moments and humorous moments, some really good sentimental moments. And again, you know, praising the dialogue and the performances, I think in the points later in the game where there are some
Oh no, that's the point. Everyone is left to go down, aren't they? I forgot about it.
far more serious moments, it's still handled really well. In particular with Star-Lord towards the end, when he is, without going into too much detail, talking to...
Woman, yes.
Yes, we'll go with woman, young woman, just to make sure we're on the same page. The performances there are really good, but so is just the choice of cinematography they're using and the detail in the facial animations and stuff. It's really, really good. And the facial animations are great on this as well.
Feels like they're everywhere.
Animations in general, to be honest. Yeah, I had a really, really good time with this game. I don't really have much to complain about with it, to be honest. Like, there's a few little minor issues you can pull out, but really nothing to really...
I don't know what they said.
It says scary, laughing at us. Laugh in the face of danger.
We'll find out if we got this right.
Let's talk about this mechanic as it's here. So this is the
Huddle up.
huddle up mechanic. So get everyone together, they say a couple of things about the nature of the battle, and then based off what they say, you pick an answer. If you get the right answer, it's going to hype up the team. It gives everyone kind of like a health boost, a damage boost, etc, etc, etc. And if we weren't playing on streaming mode, you'd get some cool 80s licensed music playing now as well.
Yes. Their abilities also recharge much faster.
Yes.
Which is great.
I quite enjoyed that. Quite enjoyed that system, to be fair.
Yeah, no, it's a very good system. I enjoy it. Combat in general, I enjoy.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about combat, how you found it.
Yeah, I enjoy it. I think it can, in the early stages on non-New Game Plus, like around here, the first time you're playing it, I think it can get quite boring. Just because you don't have a lot of variation in your abilities, you don't have much you can do at all other than this.
Yeah.
That's it. And then occasionally get a singular ability from
Excuse me?
singular ability from all your characters, but now you get 4 apiece, including yourself. So there's a lot of combos you can do.
Yeah, and then you get the kind of Extreme Sports there says, "What the fuck is this X-Men?"
Because somebody said
Uncanny, yeah.
Thanos never tolerated imperfection.
Never been a problem for Quill.
You can get some really cool stuff with combat as well, because you've got kind of like the timed attack. So if you get enough stagger on people, you get those attacks where you can hit circle and triangle at the same time and get kind of the team combos. And you've got the ones where, you know, if you might get a prompt to do a particular attack with someone, and it might, you know, one of the Drax or something might do a particular animation to like rip an arm off an enemy or something like that and bring their health down some more. You got the different types of enemies that have different types of health stages as well. Might be worth, sorry, side note, of popping subtitles on.
Probably,
as
yes.
we are in streaming.
Difficulty? No.
No, settings, and it was in languages.
Stupid place. Stupidest place.
Ow! Is it, doing it? What? It appears
Just
to
to
be
solve
broken.
that problem.
Ain't nothing broke. That's the sound it's supposed to make.
Yes.
You can't
Yeah, and obviously all the
What?
different variations on elemental weaknesses different enemies have, and this, that, and the other.
That's for some good depth to gameplay in the combat as you're playing. I think the other area where I think the gameplay is really good is exploration and that kind of stuff. There's not much to it, but it's fun. It works, you know. And there's puzzle solving, environmental puzzle solving, using your team to solve the puzzles.
Extreme Sports says, so here is the thing, any Marvel game is worthless without the movie faces, so stupid. This is his biggest pet peeve. Not to insult you, I think that's the stupidest thing anyone has ever said in the history of anyone.
I'm kind of with Jack because I don't understand that logic, because these characters existed way before the movies did. And in some cases, the movies aren't even the first renditions of the characters. What happens is Guardians in particular, for most people, the movies are your first entry into the characters. So it's hard to detach from that idea you have in your head. But that doesn't mean anything. Everyone sees these characters at different times. For me, it doesn't make a difference at all.
No.
It's the kind of thing where if it was done well, and they did happen to have the movie lights as a movie cast, and it was done well, fine. But it doesn't have those things, and it's still done really well. So it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
it's not taken
I
away.
also think it's a bigger risk.
It is, yes.
As well, like,
You will laugh at us.
Maybe we
but
can
I don't
use
have an
this
issue with the
bait.
fact. So Spider-Man
I knew
Remastered, I
those
don't have an
thumpers
issue with the
would
fact that they changed his face.
No, neither do I.
No, like, but at the same time, it is a bit that they changed him to look like Tom Holland.
I think that was a partly coincidence. They didn't go.
I do think.
Yeah.
It was.
They didn't go, we're going to change this guy to look like Tom Holland. They changed the we've discussed this in detail already. They changed the face for a technical reason.
No, for sure. No,
It just so happened
absolutely.
that that's the way they went with it as well.
I think it was mostly coincident. I think there was a smidge.
There was probably an element of, hey, this guy looks a bit like Tom Holland too. Excellent bonus tick.
Absolutely.
But I also didn't find that as a negative. I didn't see that as a bad thing.
No,
at
I
all.
don't see it as a negative. It just seems a bit like but also, I think if you make it based on the movies, the movie versions, you're then putting into question of, well, this kind of has to be canon. This kind of has to be this, that, and the other.
Yep.
This.
Definitely not.
You've then got to get
There's a
more.
licensed tie-in game, which is never good, so you've already got that worry from people.
Also, the added cost of having to pay those actors because
I don't actually think it depends. If you use their faces, I think actually they already own the rights. They can just do that.
but yeah, but okay, yes,
if
for
you-
the likeness. But then if you
If you
want,
wanted the voice acting,
yeah, and then I think if you don't have the voice acting, then that's even worse.
This is an even bigger
Yeah.
difference. Yeah, it's
Hold on to your butts, people.
Even
issue.
more of a standout.
Yeah,
Like it stands out way more.
because then there's something. It then turns into an uncanny valley thing because there's something not quite right about it. Yeah, this way I've grown to very quickly just grown to cool. These are these versions of these characters and it's fine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and as I was saying earlier, I kind of prefer them.
Yeah.
And I prefer this way, this version of the story. The elements that we did know about the story, they've done slightly differently as to not make it like, oh, right, okay. Like with Quill and his mum.
Yep.
They've done that very differently. But this isn't the MCU, and there isn't, as of this moment, there isn't a game universe.
No.
It would be cool if that's what they did.
I know that was something they were talking about at one point. They were toying with the idea, and there was talk that they want to try and create an MGU, as it will. But with the way they set things up at the moment, I don't know how you can do that because so many of the properties are very clearly separated. If anything, we're about to get our second rendition of Spider-Man in a video game. Because obviously Spider-Man in Avengers
Oh yeah, that depends. They could give him the White Spider though.
could do.
But also at that point they would need to have Yuri the Wenthal. So I'd be shocked if at the very least the White Spider isn't an option.
Yeah.
But no, you're right. With Avengers though, I was thinking, oh my god, you could probably save that version of the franchise that you've created. You could still use the same character models and voice actors and stuff, but make a game more like this.
I mean, it's what they should have done anyway.
It's what they should have done, absolutely. But as we've said, the game industry are idiots at the moment. But I think they could save that franchise, and they could still use what they made. Just make like a sequel. Don't put a 2 on it, because I think that will be dangerous. But at the very least, you could still use Troy Baker and Nora Bailey and Nolan North and others. I forgot.
There are many
Travis
people.
Willingham.
Yeah.
But you can still use those characters to make the Avengers. Rescuing the llama is the SimCity or the Sim.
I just want to have a shout out to the llama. I think the llama is the greatest character in this game.
The llama is
Whatever you can fly away from.
Means you screwed up because you had to fly away from it.
How have you found? Just in general, I'm not how you found, but what are your thoughts on the visuals and that kind of thing?
I think the visuals are really good.
Please don't be Novacore. Please don't be Novacore.
Higgins in the group chat was talking about how much of a big difference the quality mode over performance mode made. I disagree entirely.
Yeah, I didn't see it. I tried it, switched it, and I didn't.
Oh, I see. You didn't see much of it. I saw a tiny bit of difference. Like there was a tiny bit of like finer detailing on the characters and stuff. But did you play it for more than it?
No, I could not get past the frame rate issue.
Designation? Hell is hope.
Normally, I would call you obnoxious and pretentious. But this game in quality mode runs like dog shit.
Yes.
It's
Yeah.
not 30. It's
No,
about 4.
it's far less than 30.
Yeah. It was so. In this particular instance, I agree. There is no other way than
I'm
performance
serious,
mode.
Peter. If
You
it's
play it.
Oh,
in
look at this damn
performance
thing! Look at it.
No one's going to jail. It's a harmless space llama thingy.
Harmless?
Yeah,
Punch it,
no.
Peter. Woe easy. It's NNN.
Not
I don't understand.
Really, no.
That's because they scorched the planet
I
because
don't
an idiot smuggled in
understand.
an Exelon.
Yeah, I think the visuals on this game are great. I mean, it's not top level, but it does look really good. The character model is really good. The lighting's really good.
Which is why Drax is going to hide in the secret cargo
yeah, it's been really nice to look
compartment
at.
behind these plants.
Peter.
Yeah, I think.
Jason,
I mean, there's
Quill.
some things that games can never get quite right. Like this is a perfect example. Finer edges of hair.
Yep.
Most games do not.
I
get
mean,
that
it's
right.
slightly lower in resolution in that because you're getting it as a video call.
But, I mean,
version,
you can see on
but-
Gamora
But
as
yeah,
well.
on Gamora it's not quite.
Even for you.
Corral. I swear it's not what it looks
Strange though,
like.
because
That you're a
Rocket
junker
looks okay in that
trespassing
sense,
in the most restricted area of
but it
space.
looks better.
I imagine they did a lot of
Oh no, what we
concentrating
talk?
on
Oh no, I need to make a decision. There's a lie. I'm just lying.
Funny story, actually. The nav crapped out and routed us through the quarantine zone.
I wasn't paying attention and I had to make a choice.
What can I say?
Yes, that is the.
Soon as we
There are a
noticed
lot of
there, we
choices,
bought
and
a
I like
close-up,
the way
and
the
that's when we
choices
showed
go.
up.
The let's talk about that as it's
Yeah.
occurring. Oh, you need to make a decision here.
Space that you told me about.
Oh yeah,
Was
but I
not
saved the
enough room
llama
for
last time.
The other thing and
Did you want to do it differently?
Peter
see what
Quill.
happens.
Yeah, I'm gonna not save the llama this time, which is a shame because I'm a big fan of this llama.
I don't know what happens.
I know, I'm gonna find out.
Because it can't be that drastic because of things that happen
I know.
later in the game.
But I can't.
Please tell me that is not a crate of super illegal.
I don't want to do the exact same decision, so I'm gonna sacrifice the llama this time and see how this
That's what I was
plays out.
thinking of doing on my New Game Plus playthrough and doing like the major decisions, doing the opposite one and seeing
Yeah.
what happens. Although I'm gonna,
Well, we can't fit
I
both.
feel bad in every game if I play like a cop. It's gonna be a hard
Rhino's
playthrough.
weapon
I think.
systems are 4 generations behind Quill. We need that tech more than we need some stupid farm animal.
That farm animal could be a
So,
class 3
I like all of
biohazard.
this stuff.
Might end up in the kill.
What am I doing? I'm hiding the tech.
Hide Rocket's crate.
Peter.
So like, one of the things I like about the dialogue between all the characters is good anyway, but I like how it continues
Harmless. She knows me.
almost organically.
Not like I did.
So
You slept with a
when
It
you're
wasn't a cop
walking
back then.
around,
The point is,
exploring your
I
ship
can
or
get us out of
exploring
this,
an area,
guys.
the characters will
You
still be
just gotta
talking to each
trust
other,
me.
but not necessarily talking to you.
Yeah.
And it all feels quite organic and really nice. So I think that's a really good. They don't really ever stop talking. The conversation is pretty much always happening in this game, and
Yeah,
it's
no.
pretty much consistently good and interesting.
Absolutely. The one thing that is a little bit is like with specific conversations sometimes, and I find it quite often you can't do anything until it's ended.
Yeah.
And even if they're not talking to you,
Yes,
like
I have noticed that.
Rocket and Gamora having a conversation and you can't proceed the game, and it's like it's interesting to listen to, but if you're just trying to play the game, like, there are a lot of elements where you just stop for
Yeah.
ages. This, for example, we haven't played anything for a good few
Yeah.
minutes at this point.
Yeah, that's right. You
Obviously, it's a great story, so I don't necessarily take that as
a
criticism. But obviously, if that's not the sort of thing you're after in a game, that is.
I like
Going
this
to be
joke.
an
Gardeners of the Galaxy, I'm a fan of this joke.
I fixed it with an addendum.
Not the
I fixed it with an addendum, yes.
but definitely in the top 5 of most awesome names. Contributing members. Groot, a Flora Colossus. Last of his kind, fearless in a firefight, an awesome best friend.
Who did
Rocket,
you?
bona
This was in the
fide
demo, so I don't mind
super genius and a
talking
wizard
specifics
with
here.
explosives.
Give
Definitely
to
not a
Lady
raccoon.
Hellbender.
Gamora,
Rocket.
As
adopted
he
daughter
gave
of
Rocket.
Thanos,
See, I gave Groot.
deadliest
I'm
woman
gonna
in
give
the
Groot this
galaxy.
time round.
See,
We say more. Drax the Destroyer.
I don't think we'll get there at
Convicted
this
serial
point.
The reason
murderer
I
and galactic war hero.
Rocket is because I wanted to try and gain Rocket's trust early, and he wanted to
Last
give
and
himself, and he didn't want to
definitely least, Peter
give Groot.
Jason
So I was
Quill.
like, okay, I want to gain your trust, Rocket, because you can pull some shit if you don't trust me. I know what this character's like. As discussed, he's an asshole.
Sorry. Excuse me.
He
I
is.
just need to.
He is.
Cadet Gold. What are you doing here?
Oh, you don't
But
know? Really?
there's
It says right here. Prisoner
one thing I would be
processing
really
training.
interested in
I'm your official
is like a proper,
Aren't you
almost
a little young for the
Telltale-like
Corps?
Aren't you a little old for that hairdo?
massive shift in plot,
should
or
check
Detroit
with
Become
Captain.
Human
No.
style,
No,
like
no,
her
she
massive
definitely
shift
somehow
based on
won
your
this.
choices,
You don't have
because
to rush
we've
these,
discussed things that have
signing
happened later
stuff.
in this game, and we did the exact
If I
opposite
may,
thing here.
sir?
So it kind of seems irrelevant whether or not you
So,
gamed.
from what I can tell, the
Trust.
choices don't necessarily change doesn't change the story, don't change the plot, but it changes how you get to certain areas of
Yes.
the plot.
Yeah.
It changes some of the events along the way.
This bit is dumb if you're not wearing the
Yes.
original costume.
In particular, without giving too much away, there is a point later on in the game
You do
where
not
you can
got
choose to help
this,
and save
pirate.
someone.
I got this.
I did.
Now fall in line.
Then when I'm in the final act, there's a point where I'm just gonna say my thing before I forget. There's a point where I come up with the team against a huge amount of enemies. It's like, how are we going to do this? But because I saved the person earlier, this person or this character came out of nowhere, helped me, and dealt with the situation for me, so I didn't have to take on
Woof.
the big fight. Yes. Whereas I presume if you had not helped that character earlier, that wouldn't have happened, and you would have had to have done the big fight.
There's another one
You know the arrest protocol?
pretty early. You can make someone trust you when you get to a locked door.
Am I
If-
near a collectible or anything like
If
that?
they trust you,
We're not hunting an illegal creature in illegal space.
if they trust you, the door, you'll be able to open the door. You'll have a key. If not, you've got to find
Yes.
some weird,
According
funny
to
way to get
protocol, you
around.
could be taken straight to the
They
brig.
did not trust me. It says, as you follow Nikki, you'll have the option to do encourage her or take control. That's when the collectible is. When you have the dialogue
Oh, okay.
options, encourage her or take control.
But that was for the Nova suit, right?
Yeah,
I think I might have it.
you do not.
I do not. Okay, fine.
Oh, you've got so many more Star-Lord suits than me.
You unlock a bunch when you complete the game, so you'll probably have them as well.
How can they fix what they cannot
If you haven't started your
understand?
new Game Plus yet, you won't.
Run the scanners again.
That's kind of boring. Hoping I'd have to find them.
There's only like 2 or 3
Unify
things you
your
unlock
Rachel,
just as
leader of
reward
the
for
Church
finishing
of
it.
Universal something. He was floating dead in the quarantine
have this
zone,
one.
looking for God. We caught him just like we caught
Sorry
you.
for continued nose blowing.
I know the captain.
It's okay, you're sick.
As I was saying, if you just tell the
You're
captain
sick.
Mom explicitly said she doesn't want to see me.
I was gonna make the same joke.
Well,
Wait.
You mustn't touch that.
Oh, Big Bang.
Dead.
Yeah. Absolutely dead.
Broken knees.
Oh, I fucked this up about 8 times the first time. I couldn't seem to get the timing right of that triangle thing the first time I did it. I don't know why. I couldn't interpret the message it was telling me. I was like, wait, where am I supposed to press the button? I just couldn't suss it.
When it's in the circle?
I know, but for some reason, I couldn't. In my head, I was like, oh, I need to do it before it gets to the circle for some reason, and I don't know.
Yeah, I'm very much with. I hope. So I hope Amy Hennig's Marvel game is very much more this style.
Yeah, I
think.
it's
I would
nice.
presume it is.
I think games that are like character based like this need to be this kind of style for the most part. Open world for some of them, if it's relevant to the characters.
If it's relevant to the characters,
Spider-Man is the example.
Spider-Man. Yeah, I think you could have gotten away with doing a bigger like RPG with Guardians, because then you could do like.
The idea of
between
a
planets
No
and-
Man's Sky style open space area, for lack of a better term, but with a proper narrative, cinematic, single player
to be able
narrative.
to travel between different planets and do side quests and stuff like that. I think that would be. I think you can make that fit with Guardians, but there are obviously some characters where it wouldn't fit.
Yeah.
But I'm just because we're getting other Marvel games like we've had. From Marvel games, as far as I can tell, excluding any mobile games that they've produced, we've obviously had Spider-Man,
Mom, right.
Marvel's Ultimate Alliance, which is obviously more of a dungeon crawler than a game like this. We had the Marvel's Avengers,
Here,
Miles Morales,
Help me with
obviously,
ready?
Together. On 3,
and
2.
We know.
we're getting Midnight Suns, which is obviously more of a tactical RPG.
We also know we're getting Spider-Man 2 and Wolverine.
Obviously, Wolverine's going to be more of a narrative thing because of who's making it as well, which is good. I'm excited. But obviously, that is so fucking far away.
I knew there was something
My
wrong
main
with
hope
it.
is that we get more than Midnight Suns next year.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, I just want more games like this. This
sure.
is how I.
For sure, that's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
all these games that we know of aren't like this, which is a shame. I
Exactly.
guarantee. Oh, what are these? Oh no.
Come on.
These.
Probably help with the door if we undid these cuffs.
This. Sorry. These. That's why I was getting confused. I was saying the wrong word.
I understand.
This is almost definitely getting a sequel. After the reception is had. This is going to get a sequel.
Which is good. I'm fine with that because I love this game, and
I love this game as well.
And I think the thing I'm trying to work out how to really drive this home is like, and I know it's a personal thing, but I just think that these style of games are really, really good.
They speak to me way more than any other genre.
Yeah,
narrative-based, character-driven.
I don't get so many studios' continued obsession of trying to do different based games for properties it doesn't make sense for, and trying to force everything into being multiplayer or as a game of service or a fucking battle royale, because we're consistently seeing it not work. And then you get a game like this, and it's just widely seen as being very high quality. And I've had more fun with it, and I'm going to spend more money on games like this. You know, I didn't buy this game for no other reason than my current financial situation, so I rented it. But if they were to bring out a sequel, I'd be buying it day one. And if they were bringing out a sequel that had a collector's edition, I'd be buying it day one, because that's how I get with these
They
things.
didn't do a collector's edition of this,
No.
did they?
I don't think they had a huge amount of faith in this game, because the marketing on it has been very non-existent as well.
And also, they obviously marketed it quite a while ago now. Can't remember what it was, probably middle of this year. And the reception to it was very
Peter.
lukewarm, if not bad.
Yeah, I mean,
This game doesn't showcase very well.
it doesn't showcase very well.
Which is really bad, but
Give me the good news.
I am really glad that everyone's going,
They
oh
all have
no,
life signs.
This game is actually real good.
Yeah.
They've been
I don't think enough people are talking about it personally.
There was something down here. I'm very convinced there was something down here.
I think it's later. You come back to this area later on.
Do you?
Yes.
Okay.
Because you come back to later on and it's electrocuted and you have to get Rocket to like turn something off and then you
Yeah, I remember. I remember.
I
I remember. That does explain why it's not
Come
here.
on. We'll be safe through here.
This way? I feel like there's something this way.
Price listen first.
There isn't. It just felt like there was going to be something there.
It's probably this one. The one that says one purple costume chest is unreachable in chapter 2.
We don't need help. I know what I'm doing. Now help me block this fire so we can get through.
They probably won't be in this list.
Sure. Just that everyone must be worried. Captain's kid goes.
So it's
missing.
one of them. It's in one of these
Kid
areas.
is still a corpsman. Now are you gonna help me or not?
Easy does it.
Yeah.
But encourage her on.
Either way, I think this has been really solid game. Really solid experience. I'm happy playing the new game plus almost immediately, which doesn't happen to me very often with a game.
The only time I've done that
Look,
in-
is the adult in the
Oh,
room.
So where is it supposed to be?
when you do, instead of following Nikki, look to your left and find an opening between some yellow pipe there.
Liar.
Pipes.
This is your idea of acting like an adult crawling into a dead end?
I'm investigating our options. It's a
I really like the dialogue in this game.
Your options are
I really like the dialogue in this game.
Yeah, I think it is fantastically written. In the hideout is the
God,
next one.
that suit is shit, isn't it?
I actually wore the note. There was one. There's a bit later where you go in and like find a core, and I just had everyone.
Yeah, I get that a lot.
That is the one. No, hang on. Put that suit on quickly. Just you don't. Or look at the suit.
I
in the
mean, I need to
menu.
put it on anyway to.
Look at the rear, the posterior. That is. That is a posterior.
It looks better on.
It's a cool suit.
I never met.
What it does make me do though is like Nova would make a great game.
Experiment. No, I'm not going to stick with this one.
Mention I'm allergic to
I
handcuffs.
didn't like any of
More
those
like
suits.
allergic to authority.
Oh yeah, it's a big chunk of them I don't like.
I get that checked out if I were you.
That'd be another one of my bigger complaints is a big chunk of the costumes I don't like.
Oh,
Yeah, I think
that's just
a lot of superhero games get that wrong. I was the
know
same
I'm
with
down here.
Spider-Man.
Yeah, Spider-Man had the same thing. A lot of them were not good. There was a few that were like super good, and then I mean we all know that the Tom Holland one is the best suit, or the two Tom Holland ones are the best suit.
The 4 Tom
Oh yeah, I suppose it is, isn't it?
Yeah, there's a.
It's just blatantly gonna ignore me.
I think it's 4. Yeah, you get the homemade one, then you get the Star Trek one, then you get the Far From Home and the Night Monkey one.
Really got them all memorized.
They only
don't
did
you?
one of the Andrew Garfield ones. I
No,
think they
it'd be
should've
fine
done,
because there's the Homecoming one as well.
which is the Star Trek one. Oh, and the Iron Spider.
Yeah, when you said Star Trek, my mind went Iron Spider, but
So there's 5.
Does your mom know you play down here?
yes, and then there's the Garfield one, there's the Maguire
What else
one.
am I gonna do? Not like
Yeah,
there's
they should have
any
done-
kids on board.
2 of the
You
Maguire.
know,
Like,
I didn't have a lot of
obviously,
friends
the
your
only
age
reason we
either.
didn't get any of the
Granted, I
black
was in
suits was
prison,
because
but
there's going to be a
still.
big part of the
So
sequel, I
Mom
imagine.
was
Absolutely.
right about
And
It was a
Morales has
Shikari
kind of got a
prison. I was just a kid.
darker
so
coloured black
many
suit.
questions. Were your parents in prison too?
Yeah, but he was
No, my mom
first kid.
died.
But
I
there
didn't
you
know
go.
my
The black
dad.
suit and
How
Morales'
do
suit
you
is
know
still
my mom exactly?
still
We fought
pretty
together on
visually
Mercury
distinct.
during the war. She was.
But anyway.
his
Yeah, I do have a bit of
Well,
a
like real
thing with the costumes,
control.
but I'm like that with every
Bossy,
every Marvel game. I don't think
judgmental. You're just
there's a lot of
kid,
them
Nikki.
that are
You
particularly
don't know
good.
what's good for you, Nikki. Stay out of the escape pods, Nikki.
Largely, I think
I kinda
because
know what you
even
mean.
though
I don't know why I'm
You-
collecting those
This
because
is a
I've
new
got all
low,
of the
Pete,
upgrades.
even for
Yeah, it
you,
does seem pointless.
Peter. It's restricted space, Peter.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm not gonna go get.
this is the hideout in here, isn't it?
Yeah,
Again, you're going to get them.
I was just seeing if there's anything else.
Quick
I need.
reminder that
Oh, you haven't
only
mentioned
one
me
of
another
us
collectible. I'm here now. I'm gonna grab them.
dead end. Trust me.
Of course I trust you.
Clearly. Get back here,
In here.
pirate.
Wow, okay. Could have sworn I heard Corell there
Some
for a
crates.
second.
There's some crates near the monitor.
This is an attempt to escape your mom's ship. I really need to know because I may or
Oh,
may
I think
not
I
be
might already have
super
this one. I'll go
interested.
look.
Just
Broken
really need to
translation
make
device.
sure it doesn't look like a kidnapping.
What?
Yes, I know. I already have that one. I remember the dialogue stuff about it, but
Wow.
Don't laugh.
I assume it's not
No,
going to be here, is it?
This
If I've
is
already got it.
cool. It's like your secret hideout, right?
Cool.
Definitely prefer
Cool. And then
We're not
during the elevator ride
Check on Ultimo.
with Corel and Nikki,
His
always
gyros have been
side
all
with Nikki.
screwy.
Do not
Take
back
your
up Corel.
time.
This will make Nikki trust you, and she'll give you her personal device to access doors.
Which I did anyway.
I did not.
Right, before we go any further,
Nope.
because I think we're getting to the point where we can probably wrap up the video side of
almost done.
things. What would you score this game? I know review scores are weird, but people like a review score, so what would you score it?
Hey, secrets off limits.
No adults.
Based on our thing, it would be a bit good,
Anyway,
isn't
I'm all done here.
Yeah,
But
high
We
8.
should
it?
probably
High
get
8.
back
Very high 8.
before Mom completely
I was
freaks.
looking.
Yeah, I've seen your mom overreact.
So
before.
last night I was
I'm not a kid anymore, you know?
Tell
just
me about it.
preemptively
More crawling.
prepping
Yay.
for the best of year, and my game of the year goes to Guardians of the
You
Galaxy.
get where I'm coming
Nice,
from,
fair.
right?
It's a
Like if you
toss-up
do
for me
end up
between this
talking
and,
to my
Far
mom,
Cry is my
Yeah.
runner-up.
subject of me
TV was the
having
hardest one,
to
as
come
per
up.
usual, because it took me
Say
about
no
3
more.
hours to realise
Make
I'd
sure
watched anything
Corel
this year
knows
that
what a
isn't
good job he
that
did.
isn't the
No.
Marvel
I mean,
drivel that I'm not a huge fan of,
ideally,
and then movies
Mom
movies
never
is
needs
not
to
relevant
know
to today.
I
When's
was
the
in
next
the
when's
room.
when's the next
So
collectible, or is it just doing the thing?
Saw you.
It was in the,
It's just to get the elevator thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wasn't sure if there was something else before that. That was all.
How cool she
fair.
is, but
fair,
that's
fair,
it.
fair, 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 fair.
Almost at the elevator.
Yeah, no, I agree.
We're home free.
I will read this. Carry on speaking.
I agree. That's a hard day. I'm not going to carry on speaking because what I'm going to do is I'm going to briefly pause this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to wrap up the video side, the pre-recorded video side, but then we'll carry on streaming for a bit. So, this has been our live review, discussion, and live let's play thing of Guardians of the Galaxy. Remember, if you like what you're doing, or what you're doing is watching us, you can follow us on Twitter at rabbithole_UK. You can subscribe to us on YouTube, where you can see us anytime that you wish. You can follow us on Twitch at Rabbit Hole Media, and you can subscribe and follow on multiple different podcast services on and around the internet.
Indeed.
And now you can follow us on Instagram at rabbitholemedia_UK for all of the behind the scenes tits and bits. If you would like to support us, you can head to merch.rabbitholemedia.co.uk for a wide range of merchandise that recently got wider. And finally, if you're watching us live on Twitch and you're an Amazon Prime member, you get one free Twitch Prime membership a month. Please find it within your hearts to give the free membership to us. It does not cost you a penny, but it does go a long way in helping us bring you the shows you love. Jack, any final words on Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy?
It's very good. You should get it. You should play it. Buy it. Give the world a sequel.
Indeed, I totally agree. And if you're watching on YouTube, thank you all for watching. And until next time, if you're on Twitch, don't go anywhere. So we're coming right back. If you're watching on YouTube, until next time, we shall see you then.